subject for this week, all this week. We are going to be talking about the love languages. Loving, giving love, receiving love. That's what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to hang out here for a minute and let you come on in. Good morning. Good Monday morning. Hope you guys are doing well this morning. I think Rose should be on a plane somewhere. Rose should be headed to Ohio, I believe. Ohio? Cincinnati? Yeah, Ohio. I'm supposed to not have sugar in my tea. Remember, I promised no sugar in my tea no sweetener in my tea for 60 days. So I need to be honest. Good morning, Steve. Since I've had no sugar in my tea, I have not done it. I've kept my promise. However, right now I'm just drinking water, hot water, because when you don't put sugar in the tea, it might as well just be water. That's what I've reduced myself to, drinking hot water. After my 60 days are up, I just want you to know I'm going back to my sugar in the tea. I'm committed to it. How are you doing this morning, Steve? How are you doing this morning? Hopefully you are doing well. You got some rest last night. Hopefully. I went to bed on time last night. I'm feeling good about that. I had the most delicious dinner. I used Suli's recipe for corn mix. Good. I'm glad you're doing well. I used Suli's recipe for corn. Good morning, Stace. It's corn, capers, roasted red peppers, sun-dried tomatoes. I think that was it, but it was delicious. Put it over a bed, with some garlic and olive oil. Put it over a bed of spinach. I mean, it doesn't have to be over a bed of spinach. It could have been eaten just like that. Good morning, Elaine, Robinette Moore. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing? Stace, how are you doing? Stace, is T with you? If she is, tell T I said good morning. You know what? The problem about growing your hair out is when you have very short hair, like me, when I was bald, I don't comb my hair, right? And now when I have hair, I'm actually supposed to comb this stuff, but I don't like combing my hair. So I just put my fingers in it, move it all around, and hopefully it's good. Yeah, I know I'm special. Everybody's special in their own way. I'm hanging out just for a couple of more minutes because I know I expected Suli would be here this morning. I don't expect that Rose would be here. Rose is on a flight, I'm assuming. And Rose is off. Stace says she's walking around right now, so I think she will be in soon. Awesome. So what I wanted to talk about today, I'm just going to go ahead because I want to make sure to keep to our time. I've got a lot of work to do, so I need to get my break going and get back to work. So we have touched on love languages. Yesterday when we were talking, I was talking about how I loved somebody, but he couldn't receive that love. I don't know that at the time I knew about love languages, that I had officially read anything about multiple ways of showing love. I mean, intuitively, you know that you show love a specific way, but you don't necessarily always understand that everybody doesn't receive love the same way you show love. So there was a gentleman, Gary Chapman, who wrote a book. I don't know if any of you have read it. Let me know if you've read it, or at least looked into the information before. Let me know. Anyway, Gary Chapman wrote a book. Dang it, I don't have the book title. But anyway, he wrote a book, The 5 Love Language, How to Give and Receive Love with Your Mate or something like that. I don't remember the full title. But he wrote that book in 1992, and we've been talking about it ever since, right? And in his book, he says that there are 5 types of love language. And the love languages are basically, each person has a primary way of showing love and a secondary, one primary and one secondary way of showing love. And people tend to show love to others in the same way that they want to receive love. Okay, so the 5 love languages are words of affirmation. And we're going to go through. So all this week, we're going to be talking about love languages. And each day, we're going to spend on one love language. So don't worry that I'm not getting ready to explain all of these to you today. We are going to talk about each one day this week. So we have words of affirmation, quality time, giving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. So those are the 5 ways that people express love. Again, people tend to have one primary and one secondary, and it doesn't mean that people don't like to experience all of a mixture of every one of these 5. It doesn't mean that. It just means that people tend to have one primary way that they show love and that they want to receive love, right? It's probably really how we show love is rooted in how we feel love, how we want to receive love. So if I'm the type of person who's an acts of service, and we're going to talk about acts of service today because I did the test, and I'm definitely, good morning, T. Good morning, T. I am absolutely, hola, Suliana, hola, Suli. I am definitely an acts of service, love giver, love receiver. That's what I want, acts of service. Do something for me. You love me, do something for me. Don't just tell me, don't come giving me a hug. I don't need all of that. What I need is for you to do something for me. That's how you show love to me. And consequently, that's how I show love to other people. I'm gonna do for you. I'm just gonna, I might not come and give you a hug all the time. I might not tell you I love you. I might not give you these words of affirmation. I'm working on it. I might not, but I will do for you. If I stop doing for you, then I've stopped loving you. How about that? Anyway. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So we are going to talk, and what Chapman says, so there's a test that I put on the page. So anybody who wants to take the test to see what their love language is, go on, take the test. It's something fun to do. But you don't really need to take a test to determine what your love language is. You don't need to have your partner take a test to determine what their love language is. All you have to do is observe. That's it. If your man is walking around all day telling you how much he loves you, perhaps that's his way of doing it, words of affirmation. And maybe if your woman is all constantly like, babe, I love you, maybe that's what she needs to hear in return. So she's telling you, babe, I love you. I really appreciate this. I really appreciate that about you. And you're running outside mowing the lawn. Those things don't come together. See, observe. What is your partner? How does your partner show you love? And what is your partner complaining about all the time? What is your partner asking for, asking about, or complaining about? So you don't need to take a test. You don't need to go online. You said T is words of affirmation. That's some BS. Suli says, I think my test is wrong. No, communication is key. Talk. Right. The thing about it is, Suli, those tests, I mean, look, I know you say you want, you know what, Suli, I'm with you on that. I don't think my test is wrong. I got words. I got, what did I get? I got acts of service, but you have a primary and a secondary, and acts of service can get gifts too. Okay. Good morning, Stacy with the tardy slip. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning, Bernadette. Acts of service. People who have love language as acts of service, that doesn't mean don't give me a present. Show up to the house with some flowers. That's fine. That's a present. That's a gift, right? Give me. Okay. So this is the thing. You know that Suli is a gardener. So are you going to show up with some roses that you cut, that you bought at the gas station or from the person in the middle of the street buying roses? No, but you might show up with a plant for her to put in her garden and go help her do it. That's a gift and an act of service. You're paying attention to your partner. Really, that's what it comes down to, right? You have to understand how your partner expresses love to you and how your partner receives love. So again, if we have an acts of service, like me, and then you have a words of affirmation, you running around here telling me how much you love me, but you're not showing it. Show me, damn it. Show me. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Show me you love me. If you love me so much, you know I'm tired. How about you have dinner ready? That's an act of service. You love me so much, you know I got all of this work that I need to do at work and the kid still needs to get to basketball practice. Offer to take the kid to basketball practice. That's an act of service. That shows love to an act of service person. Babe, I know you have all of this on your plate. I'm going to take 1 or 2 things off for you today. Why? Because I love you. Now, you don't have to come with the because I love you. See, because for me, acts of service, just do it. You don't have to talk about it. Just do it. So he says, hella work, he better be worth it. He is worth it if he's working too. If he's working too. Now, my question, let me go, because Suli posted some, Stacey says, mine is physical touch. And if you're not touching me as moment to moment, on a moment to moment basis, I will shut down and you won't know. Steve says, it's really important to understand a person's love language. You can observe, but knowing a person's love language by direct communication gives clarity. Sometimes those people don't understand their own love language or are not able to articulate it that way. How many of us walk around talking about, oh, my love language is this? We don't use that terminology. I might use it now because I'm talking to you guys and I've looked it up and I've looked at Gary Chapman's work. So I might use it now. But 10 years ago, I did not know to phrase it that way. I did not know to say my love language is this. So communication is key, but isn't communication observation as well? So I'm not saying it's one or the other. It's all of the above. You're talking to your mate. What does your mate ask you for? But you have to be willing to understand that what your mate asks you for may be different than what you need. So you can't love somebody the way you want to be loved. You have to love them the way they want to be loved. And you have to pay attention to how they're communicating with you. What are they coming to you for? Are they coming to you for help all the time? Or are they coming to you say, babe, just hold me? Because if they're coming to you for help and you're just trying to hold them, that doesn't come together. See, Stacey's about touching. So Stacey's why let me hold you and let me soothe you. And T is acts of service. So T like, dude, don't soothe me. Go out there and mow the damn lawn. Like, I'll hold you after you mow the lawn. Steve says, example, gift Suli with the shovel and she'll show you where the bodies are buried. Exactly. That's an act of love. No. Let me take that back. Don't gift her the shovel. Help her bury the bodies. That's an act of love. Good morning, Claudia. You have an excellent week as well, mi hermana. It's so funny. One day, when I was very sick, I had gallstones and I was in excruciating pain. And I was out here with my mom. And I was out here with my mom at the time. I lived here. I lived here at the time. I was in Maryland. I lived here. This was 25, 30 years ago, whatever. I lived out here. And I woke up in the middle of the night in excruciating pain. I could not even stand up straight. And I made my way into my mom's bedroom and I fell onto her bed. And it woke her up in the middle of the night. And I'm like, my stomach. And my mother said, do you want to lay down with me? Hell no, Leland, I don't want to lay down with you. Get up. I want to go to the hospital. We need to do something. Don't just hold me. No. You want to lay down? No, I don't want to lay down. So see, my mother is, let me hold you and take all your pain away. And me, take me to the hospital, let them give me some medication to take my pain away. I'm dying here, lady. We have to know what the other person needs. How close am I to Rockville? I'm not far, probably about, look, I only know by distance. I mean, by time, maybe 15 minutes. I'm not that far from Rockville. Right. You all right? I'm dying. My mom said, want me to hold you? No. And it was winter time and I was in, at the time, it was the cute thing for women to wear men's boxer shorts, right? So I would wear them to bed. I would wear men's boxer shorts to bed and a t-shirt. I thought I was cute, whatever. And so I was walking out of the house. I was like, look, I'm headed to the car. I'm going to the hospital. It was winter time, and I have on men's boxer shorts and a t-shirt. And I'm like, I'm headed out. I'll meet you at the hospital. You can lay in that bed all you want to, but I'm going to the hospital. So, and then when I was with my son's father, we had Etienne had a photo shoot. He used to model when he was a baby. And he had a photo shoot. Yeah, 5150. That's exactly right. I sure did go 5150. Look, you should. Look, I could tell you more stories about that day, but that's not what this topic is for. But I did go 5150, like heal my pain. That's what you need to do. So it's so interesting that now I study these, or now I've looked into these acts of love, right? Because when I was with Etienne's dad, there was a night Etienne had to do, he was doing a Tommy Hilfiger photo shoot or something. And so because he was a baby, he wasn't even 2 years old at the time, I didn't want to have to wake him up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to get on the road to go to it was in South San Francisco and I was in Marin. So I wanted to make sure we were on time. So I booked a hotel room to stay close to the airport so I would be close to his shoot in the morning. And his dad was coming to stay at the hotel with us as well because I was nursing Etienne, so I had to stay at the hotel, but I actually had to be at work the next morning for an important meeting or something. And so his dad was going to take him to the photo shoot. So his dad tells me, I'm like, I'm really hungry. Can you stop and get something to eat? So he said, okay, the only thing that's open is some fast food restaurant. I don't remember what it was. So that's fine. That's fine. He brought me back a BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato, with chicken. Did it have chicken? Might have had chicken. And mayonnaise. I don't eat bacon, and I don't eat mayonnaise. Neither one of those two things. You bring me an effing sandwich that I can't eat, and you're supposed to love me. That's not love. That's not love. To me, that's not love. Because if I eat the pork, I'm going to be sick, physically ill. If I eat the mayonnaise, I'm going to throw up. So either way, I'm going to be physically ill if I eat the sandwich that you brought for me. And you think you did a damn good job because you bought me a sandwich. You bought me a sandwich that I cannot eat. You might as well have gotten me nothing. And in my mind, you just said, F you, Kai, I don't care if you're hungry. That's how serious it was to me. That's how serious an act of service. That's how important it is to me. You don't love me if you don't pay attention to what my needs are and bring me something to eat when I'm starving. You don't love me. Period. There is no way that we could connect. Him saying, but I brought you the sandwich. Okay, so what? I can't eat it. So what's the point of having brought it for me? It's very, very important for us to pay attention. Yes, he knew I couldn't eat those foods. He didn't just meet me. He didn't pay attention. He didn't pay attention. And over the time that we were together, over the years, that's what ended up with me not feeling loved. As much as I loved him, I did not feel loved because you don't pay attention to the things that are significant to me. So seriously, I still know. We haven't been together for 10 years, and I still know what kind of coffee I would order him if I had to go order him coffee. Exactly. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Goodness gracious. Yes, he knew. Y'all stop trying to give him a pass. Yes, he knew. No beef, no pork, no soy, low fat. Absolutely no mayonnaise unless it's in potato salad, then I eat it, or tuna salad, then I eat it, but I don't put it on a sandwich. Yes, he knew. Yes, he knew. However, he didn't think about it. He didn't take the time to make sure that what he ordered me was something that I could have. He would go over to Starbucks every day. I have the same exact damn thing from Starbucks. And every day, if he would go to Starbucks, what do you want, Negro? The same thing I had yesterday. And the day before, and the day before, and the day before. Acts of service show love to some people. Now, he was a physical touch and a words of affirmation person. But you don't show me no acts of service, ain't gonna be no physical touch or words of affirmation. I mean, if my love is not being fed, if I'm not receiving love, how am I supposed to be giving love? See, it's important for us to understand each other. Now, I didn't know to use those words. You know, your love language is this, your love language is that. I didn't know to use those words, but I absolutely knew he needed to hear it all the time and he needed to touch all the time. I absolutely knew that. But by the time you're not showing me what I need, you're not filling up my love cup. Don't touch me. Because that's not my primary love language. I don't mind being touched, but you better show me some love first. Man, tell you what. Yeah, I got T pissed at her ex again. I know, T. I know sometimes. But you know what? We ain't worried about the exes. We worried about what we have right now. What we have right now. So Sulie posted something on the page that talks about each of the different acts, each of the different love languages. So for acts of service, if your partner's love language is acts of service, and I'm not touching on any other love language today because I will touch on those others each day this week. I will touch on another one. Okay, so, and we have 10 minutes, so we're right on time. So if your partner's love language is acts of service, hold on, let me get to Steve's comment. The reason why we are asking about him knowing Kai is because it sounded like you were tripping when the man cared about getting you something to eat. No, you don't care about getting me something to eat if you know I can't eat these foods and you bring it to me. Not knowing or behaving like we know each other's language triggers one another. We got to do better. Exactly. Thank you. Who is this Facebook user? I'm sorry, guys. So with this new platform that I'm using to be able to simulcast to Facebook and YouTube at the same time, there are some people, and I'm not sure why this happens this way, but some people who come join the talk through Facebook, it only says Facebook user, so I can't refer to you by name. And if there's 5 different people coming that way, there could be 5 different Facebook users, and it doesn't distinguish between Facebook user 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to me, it looks like one person is constantly talking. So I'm so sorry that I'm not referring to you by name. You know, that's not how we roll at this table. Erica, thank you. I was getting ready to guess that it was you, but yesterday I guessed it was somebody else and it was you, and I don't want to be disrespecting people. Thank you, Erica. Thank you. I don't know why it's that way. So yes, he knew, and that's the key is paying attention. We had not just met. If I just meet you and you bring me something you don't know, that's fine. I probably will try to force it down because you didn't know any better. But by that time in our relationship, we have been together for a couple of years. You know, you've seen me get sick. You've seen me get sick, so you know. So there's no excuse for that. 2, 3 years in, you still bringing me a damn bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. I don't even eat bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Even if it's turkey bacon, I don't eat bacon, lettuce, and tomato together. That's so disgusting to me. Anyway, acts of service. So if your partner's love language is acts of service, you can try showing rather than telling, right? Show me. Don't talk about it, be about it. Following through with what you say you will do. Don't say you're going to do it if you're not going to do it. Don't make promises that you can't keep. These are things that people have heard me say over and over and over again. My mother called me the other day and said, when you go to an Amish store, can you buy me a peach cobbler? And I was like, well, I can't promise you that. Not because I won't do it if I remember. So because she said, can you remember to buy me? No, I can't promise that I'm going to remember anything. And I don't make promises I can't keep. So therefore, I could not say to my mother, yes, I will get you a peach cobbler, even if the intention is to get it. I can't do that. Because then if I forget, I'm going to feel like crap because I forgot that she told me back in 2020, you know, that next time you go to an Amish store, and I have no plans of going to an Amish store, but the point is, don't make promises you can't keep, period. And if I say it, it's a promise. That's it. I don't need to say I promise. If you say it, that's it. You've promised. Assisting with stressful or time-consuming tasks. Yes. Looking for small ways to help them. Example, cooking for them, running a bath, paying for gas. Don't run the bath unless you cleaned out the tub first, though. Okay. Yes, I am particular. Because if you just ran me a bath in a dirty tub, I'm not okay with that. You don't love me. Okay. Being spontaneous. Example, surprising them at work with flowers. See, Suli, acts of service get presents too. We do get presents too. You can avoid or should avoid ignoring requests for help, not following through. I think that's a major thing, especially for me and for anyone else who's acts of service. If you know that about yourself, is not following through as significant for you. It's huge for me. It's huge for me. Being closed-minded, like feeding into gender-based stereotypes when it comes to tasks. Yes. Yes. Where's my coffee? Where did you put your coffee? Did you make yourself some coffee? Where's my dinner? Did you cook dinner? Where's my water? Did you get yourself some water? My brother, when he lived with me at one point, I would make dinner. And and at that time, I was a Southern cooking, soul food, slamming in the kitchen kind of person, right? I would do the greens and the black-eyed peas and the cornbread. I still do all those things. I do them differently now. But at that time, I was doing smothered whatever, smothered chicken, whatever, right? I don't do the smothered chicken stuff now. But my brother, one time I made dinner, and the living room was at the opposite end of it was the eat-in kitchen at the back of the apartment, and the living room was at the front of the apartment. And I made dinner. My brother, when I brought him I left dinner in the kitchen, on the stove. I made my plate, came in the living room, sat down. My brother looked at me, where's my plate? Well, in the kitchen. Go get your plate. I cooked. As a matter of fact, why don't you go fix my plate? I cooked. That was my act of service. That was my love. I cooked for you. I didn't need to bring your damn plate. My boyfriend would be over sometimes. He'd be like, where's my water? Where's your water? Well, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you what, why don't you get up and go get you some water and get me some water too? Or my drink, whatever the drink was. Acts of service is one of mine. You got to do what you say. Right. You have to do what you say. You are worth nothing to me if you cannot do what you say. And the more you don't do what you say, the more I'm looking at you like, yeah, this fool, this relationship isn't going anywhere. If you say you're going to come hang out, come hang out. If you say you're going to go somewhere, go do it. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. Yeah, whatever. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Just do it. Just do it. Like Nike said, just do it. But one day my brother fixed, he cooked dinner. He made my plate and he got me a drink of water. And he brought my plate into the kitchen, into the living room, and served it to me and gave me my water and, served me. And I was just like, fine. Okay, sure. I have issues, y'all. I got issues. My brother's a chauvinist. I love him, but he's a chauvinist. So I didn't want to serve him. Sir, get your own food. When I was with my ex, he would wait until I sat down and asked me to get him a cup of coffee. Why would you not ask me for the coffee when I'm in the kitchen, not ask me for the coffee as I'm walking from the kitchen to the living room, not ask me for the coffee when I'm standing in front of you, ready to scoot past you to sit down, not ask me for it at any point when I'm standing up, and as soon as I put my butt in the seat, you that can't give me some coffee. Who did you think you were talking to? I am an acts of service type person, but I will not be bossed around. I will not be told to do stuff. I will not be not appreciated for my act of service. And that's the thing. For an active service person, that's what we do. We do for you. But the moment that you expect it to be done, that it is my obligation to do it, that's when it doesn't get done. Because I'm not doing it out of obligation. I'm not doing this because I am required to serve you coffee. I'm doing it because I love you, I care about you, and I want to do things for you as my way of showing love. But the moment you're talking about get up and make me some coffee, first of all, where's please? First of all, where's the please? Second of all, you don't start any sentence with your significant other saying, get this. Who are you talking to? Jesus Y'all get me mad at my ex. Talking about love languages. Look, I know I ain't in love right now, right? That got me rehashing old stuff. Shay says, I enjoy making my guys plate, but only because it's not expected. I'm old school. So, but I mean, not Shay. Shay says that. Maybe I said Shay. The point, Shay, the point is that it's not expected. The moment it is expected that that's my duty, then that feeds into these gender roles. And that is not what you do with an acts of service type person. You cannot feed into gender roles. Why is it my job to make you a plate? But I can make the plate. It's complicated, right? But it's not. Basically, allow me to do for you with the understanding that I'm doing because I want to do, not because I have to do. That's the key. Recognize that everything I do for you is because I want to do it for you, not because I have to do it for you, not because I'm a woman and I'm supposed to make your plate. And see, Shay, I don't have any problem with you being old school. My sister's old school too. Y'all can make y'all man's plates all day long. And my brother would come downstairs when we were all together. He would come downstairs and he would bypass me. Or sometimes I remember one time he asked me for coffee. Make me some coffee. I'm like, yeah, you talking to the wrong sister. That's your other sister. That's your other sister that will make your coffee. Maybe had you asked nicely, I might have done it. But I don't drink coffee, so make your own coffee. Let's see. Hold on, let me get to some of these comments. Elaine says, you just have to honor the other person's key way to receive love, as opposed to saying that's not how you are. Right. That's true. It's not about, I hope that you're not getting from what I'm saying that it's about only how I am. I'm saying in my experience, this is where there was conflict because we did not recognize each other's or respect. And I'm saying we, but I really don't mean we. Each other's individual way of receiving love was not respected at all. And then when you don't respect the other person's way of receiving love, and you start to feel like things are an obligation for someone like me, if you start to feel like or suggest that it's an obligation that I do something, that's gonna create conflict. Steve says, Kai, would you agree that the man you're interested in sit down with you for a week to understand your ways? By the way, those boxes had it was my poop, dude. 1/10% poop in them, right? Yeah, but it was mine. They were my boxes, not his. I did not take a man's boxes and wear them. I bought men's boxers and wore them as mine, okay? Just so we're clear. Oh, thank you. Oh, now Elaine is keeping me on task. Exactly, Shay. He makes your plate too. Exactly. It's not a one or the other. I'm not saying, I was not using that as an example to say you should not make your man's plate. That's not what I was using an example to say. I hope nobody is receiving it that way. It was an example for me. It was an example of my example of how it irritated me. Not the idea of making the plate. Honestly, I didn't think about making the plate. I don't know when you want to eat. We weren't sitting down together as a family, but with my chauvinistic brother, I was probably more about that. Like, I ain't making your plate. I ain't your woman. However, if it's my man, I don't have a problem making the plate. It's when it's felt as if that's an obligation. Like, that's my job. Okay, as soon as you start suggesting it's my job, then that's when I have a problem. Elaine says, when someone ignores or is indifferent to your needs, then absolutely it's not healthy for you. Right. And I think that's what this whole love language thing is about. It's not just exploring how you give and receive love. It's exploring how others give and receive love. Because what happens when you have an acts of service with the words of affirmation, or you have a words of affirmation with physical touch? What happens when your love language and that person's love language doesn't really connect? How do you make sure you're still able to connect and that you're still able to see and feel and understand, receive the love that is being shown to you? If you don't recognize that everybody doesn't show love the same way, you're not going to receive love when you're being showered with it. It hurt me until it made me angry that my ex-husband never cooked for me. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And your acts of service, right? Yeah. Now, my ex, he would cook. I mean, I didn't want to eat his food, but he would cook. So, so it's really about making sure that you're open to recognizing that the way you give love is not necessarily the way someone else receives love. And how do you make that adjustment? If it's someone that you love, you want them to know you love them, right? So how do you do that? And Steve, to go back and answer your question, no, I'm not sitting down with somebody to go through it for a week and having a discussion about how. No, I am about. I am a talker. You know this. I'm gonna get off in just a minute. I am a talker, so I am absolutely open to conversations. I am an open book, and I share. Sharing is caring. I do share, but I'm not going to sit down for a week and like sit at the tea time table like, okay, so what do you think about this? No, I like things to grow organically, to come to understand each other organically. What are you saying? You give hugs. Who gives hugs? Grow and understand each other organically. But growing and understanding each other organically means allowing that there are these differences. And I'm happy to talk about those differences. Absolutely happy to talk about them. But I don't know if I would want to set a week aside. Let's sit down and just talk about our love language. No, I'd get bored with that very quickly. Anyway, guys, so tomorrow we are going to pick another love language to talk about. Understand that you can go onto the site, you can take the test. It ebbs and flows, right? It changes all the time. You today your primary love language may be acts of service. Maybe my primary love language is acts of service because I've been a single mom for a long time. I just want somebody to come up in here and take over some stuff, do some stuff for me. But maybe once there was balance in the household, right? If I had met my other and there was balance in the household, maybe my love language would be allowed to shift because my level of responsibility has changed. And so then maybe I could sway a little bit more towards something else. I'm not saying that it stays this consistent all throughout your life. Steve says, what about the idea of asking the man you have interest in, give you their list of importance? It would allow the recipient of that list to creatively implement it organically. No, that's not organic. Sully says, dang, I guess this part you're supposed to find out when you're dating, right? I would also add to find out what the love language is for our children and our other platonic relationships. Exactly. Oh, Steve says I was being sarcastic about the week. Okay, good, because it sounded like you were doing some venting. I was. Y'all got me getting mad at my exes at this table. I asked T to take the test. I wasn't playing. I wanted to know. That's good, Stace. That's good. You know, there's a cousin of mine who when she got ready to date her now husband, she wanted to go into counseling with him. She's like, I've been hurt in the past. I want this relationship to work. So let's have counseling. And he agreed. Actually, her husband is my cousin, so she married into the family. And they have a wonderful, beautiful relationship. And I really respected that about her determination to make sure that any of her past pain didn't come in and destroy this relationship that she has. So I think taking the test together is absolutely important. Shay, you took it with your guy and kids. Yeah, it's absolutely important. But again, guys, let's not get hung up on these tests because somebody created this test. These tests are not foolproof. You can understand what the acts of love are or what the love language, look, I'm already acts of love, right? You can understand what the love languages are. There's just one person who wrote that there are 5. One person wrote that there are 5 love languages. One person said that you have 1 primary and 1 secondary. However, he doesn't own all love language, right? There may be mixtures that this person doesn't talk about. And maybe, Tasuli, the reason why you feel like yours is wrong is because yours is probably your primary may be a mixture of 2. So let's not get hung up on the test. It's great to take the test to just it's kind of like reading your horoscope. Like you don't really have to believe that stuff, but you can do it. It's, yes, a good starting point. Exactly. A good starting point. But understand that our love languages may change over time as our priorities and our life experiences change. Our love languages may change over time. And also, You can observe, what is your partner, what is your child, what are they asking you for? Are they asking you for your time? Are they asking you to do something with them? Or what are they asking you for? And obviously, which sometimes isn't obvious, but if they're constantly asking you for the same things, probably that's how they receive love. All right, and what are they doing for you? What do they do for you? However they do for you, that's probably how they receive love as well, because we tend to show love in the way that we want to receive love. So you don't need a test when you're living in the house with somebody. You don't need a test. You just need to pay attention. And that's significant. Pay attention. Anyway, guys, we're going to go. We're going to leave off on that note. Tomorrow we will talk about another one. Maybe we'll talk about words of affirmation. I don't know what everyone's love language is here, so I'm just picking it. You know, I had to start with mine today, acts of service. Maybe we'll go to physical touch. I don't know. We'll talk about one of those tomorrow. But we're going to talk about love language all this week, so come prepared to share. Yes, Steve, exactly. One person said there were five musical notes when Steve says there's 12, or when there are 12, so let's not get hung up on that. Let's not get hung up on the tests and the horoscopes and all that stuff. Let's get hung up on observation, communication, understanding that we all don't love the same way. That's what we should get hung up on. And then we can explore all of the rest together, right? Anyway, Suli says, I just want gifts. Me too, Suli. I want some gifts. I want some gifts and some acts. I want both. Do for me. Bring me something and do something for me. Both of those things together work for me. Anyway, guys, I love you at my table. Thank you so much for being here. I am going to see you here tomorrow. I think same time, same place. And we're on Acts of Love all week long, because that's where we need to be. It's a lot of crap going on in the world. We need to be talking about love all week. Okay, we're going to be filling the love cup at this table. So I will see you here tomorrow. Have a great day. And as always, wash your hands, wear your mask, and keep your distance. As always, those three things, keeping you alive and those around you alive, keeping you coming to this table over and over and over. Have a great